just how things are going, how he's feeling, and in his recovery from that terrible car accident. There are good days, there are bad days. Says right now he feels pretty good. He's actually, as we talked about there, on the mat wrestling with some of the smaller guys. He's not going to get out there with Nick Feldman anytime soon, but they can go with the 125s. This is probably not a guy you want to mess with. Jessie Mendez, number 1, back-to-back national champion, taking on Ismael Ayoub, Central Ohio native from Dublin Kaufman High School, who's had a lot of success wrestling in Columbus. Today, it's a tall task.
Ismael did come off of 11-win, 7 run at Nebraska, transfers into Kent State, like you said, Columbus native. So this is a match that he's got to be, kind of excited. If he's not excited about this match, there's no match that's going to excite him. Coming back to the hometown and wrestling number 1.
If you're a competitor, yes, you know who's across from you, but this is the kind of match you want.
No doubt. And if it doesn't, you got to better check his pulse.
Well, and to his credit, he's not back down. He has not given an inch. In on a couple of shots right away. Mendez was able to fight off the first, and look at that hip pressure. Welcome to the big time.
Yeah.
Feed him hips. And Mendez winds up with the takedown.
You think about those wind-up toys that you wind up the back of them, and then eventually they die down. Mendez doesn't have that wind-up on his back.
No, he's just plugged in all the time.
It's all the time. All the time.
Look at that battery charge. Another takedown.
He's a clinic. Any youth wrestler or high school wrestler here tonight or watching the broadcast here is going to see a clinic in takedowns.
Right into a half after the takedown, looking for exposure. Kept that leg hooked. Now he's got the fall. Freight train coming. Jessie Mendez has put people on notice for years. The notices keep being posted.
Watching his matches this year, he looks like a man on a mission. Just wants to leave no doubt. And certainly tonight, chalks up another one. And for Ismael, that's, you know what? We've been talking about this. You can't find that in your wrestling room anywhere. You're not going to find it.
No, and, these are the matches, obviously, we talked about for Ayoub. You want this match. You want to get out there. You want to use it.
Bassett every day in practice. Unbelievable. But Brentan coming off he's number 8 right now. So great opportunity for Keegan Knapp. Come back home to Columbus and grapple with one of the best.
We talked about Brendan McCrone at 125 pounds and his length. Look at Brandon Cannon as he gets ready to go out there and wrestle. And for this match, we're going to get a contrast in body styles. Cannon certainly put together, but he's got a lot of reach. Keegan Knapp, more stocky, powerfully built.
Cannon came into the Big Ten tournament last year as an 8 seed and finished 2nd.
But there's that length.
Talk about a run.
Yes, indeed. He got very, very hot at the Big Tens. He's hot to start this match. Got with a low-level shot, used that reach advantage to pull the ankle in of Keegan Knapp and turned it into a takedown. And now we've got a stoppage with the headgear coming off for Brandon Cannon. But this is a guy that had health issues when he was in high school. Didn't really have a lot of time and experience on the mat relative to most D1 recruits. And boy, has he made up for lost time in the Ohio State room. He's been fantastic.
Well, he's bought into the motor style wrestling. He goes pretty hard and heavy.
Now Knapp got to a shot, and he immediately wanted to go into his chain where he felt things cast his hips over. He knew he wasn't going to finish the takedown just with that straight-on shot. And so that was some high-level wrestling there, but Cannon was ready for it and was able to fend it off.
That's one of the things about these tall, lanky guys. You get in on them, you think you got it deep, and then they sprawl on you, and you realize you don't have that length.
Nice cheer from the crowd here at the Covelli Center after they introduce Keegan Knapp.
PA.
Folks here from
PA giving some love, right?
Yes, indeed.
You got to figure there's probably a certain percentage of this crowd coming to see him.
You bet.
You got to give it some love.
You bet. Talked about Ismael Ayoub earlier from Dublin Kaufman High School. Certainly they've got some friends and family in the building. And while they may normally root for the Buckeyes, you probably have some cheers going for the local kid as well.
Knapp in his senior year.
And on a shot, not able to finish, though. High motor athlete, Knapp.
1 minute remains in the period. 1 minute.
Cannon being a little reserved. Seems like he's a little more defensive than. But also, that was a pretty big weekend for these guys. I don't know.
You wonder how much a weekend like that takes out of a team, and now it's Cannon in on a shot again. Trying to finish things around. Knapp trying to make sure he's got wrist control, but Cannon able to sweep those legs underneath. There is a physical toll that an event such as that takes, but also there is a lot of mental energy expended over a weekend like that. Then you come back and you're taking on a team that's not highly ranked. This is really where you can see as a coaching staff who are the mentally toughest guys in the room. Everybody in there is mentally tough. You wouldn't be in a D1 wrestling room, wrestling for Ohio State or Kent State, if you weren't mentally tough. But just like at every other walk of life, there are degrees, right? There are the mentally tough, and then there's the upper echelon of that.
And Brandon Cannon didn't wrestle like some slouches this past weekend. You know, and he had a major decision after major decision and some tech falls and a tech fall in that mix.
Major, the number one guy in the country.
Yeah, by the way.
In case you were wondering.
Exactly.
On to the second period we go. 6-1 Cannon on top. Knapp to his feet quickly, but a roll through, and now right back underneath.
This last match, another Ohio native, Victor Voinovich from Iowa. He beat 14-2. But after that match, Iowa kind of went on a little, I think they went on a little run there.
Toward the back half of that duel, Iowa, they were not able to get back into it, but they made their presence known. Knapp to his feet, quickly away now. It's his second point of the match. This match was one that I was certainly looking forward to because, again, both of these guys with upper-tier motors, Cannon always looking to score. And I remember watching Knapp wrestling in high school, tournaments here in Central Ohio, the state tournament, and always looking to score. Great low-level ankle pick from Cannon, and he's going to score near the out-of-bounds line. His third takedown, 9-2.
Well, Knapp, he's a 500 wrestler last year as a junior. Gets coached more, over here to Kent State, and certainly probably is going to enjoy his senior year. Maybe a little revitalization here for his senior year.
Automatic escape issued there. Cannon let Knapp start on his feet, gives up the escape point, but right back on the attack.
Does Cannon's ranking at 5 surprise you after the weekend that he had?
Well, I mean, it rose significantly. He beat the number one kid in the nation, but he also has he's got a loss on the season so far. And those rankings, they're great when you're near the top, but otherwise you just kind of let it play out and let the matches happen as they do. But, for Cannon, this is a guy that he continues to grow. Right, wrestling here today at 157 pounds. There was some talk early before the season. Would he be up at 165? So again, you don't know exactly where he's going to settle in on his weight, trying to roll through a tilt here. Knapp trying to fight that hip down, but he can't do it. As time expires, 1 count, but not 2. So 12-3 will be the score as we go into the third period. Cannon's choice, he'll go down. I'm sure he will tell you, and Coach Ryan will tell you, and Coach Jaggers and everybody else down there in that corner. Wrestle the matches in front of you. The rankings will take care of themselves. And if you're the last guy with your hand raised at the end of the season, I'm sure you don't care what your ranking was going into that tournament.
Exactly. No doubt about that.
Knapp throws a leg in right off the whistle here to begin the third period. 9-point advantage for Cannon. Good hip in there. Drop Knapp down to his hip.
That last turn, a little reversal. Looks like you're going to get the points.
Yeah, Cannon felt that little bit of hip separation after he was able to fight the hands. And Knapp, he also felt the reversal coming and made sure he didn't give up any back points. And now into an awkward scramble that turns into a takedown for Cannon.
Looks like Cannon's. Looks like some other styles of wrestling come in place at times. Like that tilt right before the second looks like a freestyle type tilt.
Quick escape and a quick takedown given here. Now Cannon trying to push the pace and get to tech fall territory. 13-point advantage. And just under a minute to go here. There's the escape. One more takedown will be a tech fall. Stall call on Knapp. Not going to matter. Takedown near the out-of-bounds line. Cannon puts the pedal to the metal here in the third period and turns it into a tech fall. Another 5 points on the board for the Buckeyes. And that'll make it 23-0, the team score.
Probably not the homecoming that Knapp was looking for in the front of his hometown crowd, but you're wrestling a guy that just kind of demolished the #1 guy in the country. So live to fight another day.
So that puts a cap on the first half. We'll have an intermission here at the Cavelli Center.
I think they stopped that match 3 times.
Yeah.
And that just showed Feldman.
Headbutts.
Yeah, it just showed that Feldman is not going to back down this season.
He still got on the black bandana there, trying to make sure that any kind of rubs or cuts. Well, he gets right to it with a low-level shot and a quick takedown from the jump for Feldman. Off to the races, a 3-1 win after a quick escape by Simmerman. Simmerman from Morrow, Ohio, wrestled at Little Miami.
He was out here an hour before the match. And you can see he was just getting a little sweat going, getting a workout, from Ohio, coming into the big show here.
He is a big heavyweight, very tall. Feldman, not a big heavyweight, but excellent lateral quickness. Great job with level changes and penetration. And now into the hand fight. Heavy hands.
Well, Simmerman has a lot of different background. He won a Greco-Roman state title, finished second in freestyle wrestling. A lighter guy. He wrestled 190 at one point, in the state tournament here in Ohio. So those guys that have those different style of backgrounds, especially in these upper weights where, Greco-Romans, all the upper body stuff could come in very handy, especially when you wrestle a guy like Feldman who has so much in his arsenal.
Feldman took a shot there, winds up on his back momentarily, was able to roll through. Well, that's, where you have that height advantage and some leverage for Simmerman.
Talk about freestyle. That would have been a pin.
Well, the shot there from Feldman, if he watches the film, and I'm sure he's going to say, there's not a lot of setup right there to it. There's that level change. Just drops to the side, high elevation on that single leg. He's got both legs, but now down to the mat. We'll get him the takedown. Stalemate the call.
Brentan Simmerman, he's 19-13 last year, as a freshman. He's a bright spot. It's always nice to have come into a program that has a heavyweight with a little experience and, anchor down the back end of the match for you.
We talked about Blake Schaefer, maybe not quite understanding how to use his body quite yet. It looks like Simmerman's got a pretty good body awareness. Well, sometimes your body awareness isn't going to fend off a level change and shot like that.
Yeah.
He just had too much lean, and, boy, a great job by Feldman to take advantage, feeling that pressure, and then you just take the table leg away, and it turns into a quick takedown.
Yeah, Ryan, I also don't think people can fully appreciate the resources a Power 5 school has when it comes to strength conditioning and, all the technology and the food stations for athletes only and, You know, Kent State, I'm sure, has nice resources, but and when it comes down to inches like that, where it's like that's where those resources show.
Well, and for a guy like Feldman, making use of those resources. I mean, this guy trains himself to the nth degree, incredibly powerful. And you talk to Tom Ryan about Nick Feldman, he talks about his ability as a wrestler, certainly, but he talks about the way he lives his life and wanting to go about things the right way. He wants to, has had designs since he was in early grade school of being a Navy SEAL.
That's something special.
And, if you even entertain that as a goal in your life, and you hold yourself to a pretty high standard.
Yeah, that Bud's training. Bud's training is not something that not a lot of people sign up to be in that.
Not
Navy
on purpose.
SEAL. Yeah, not the Navy SEAL training. It's a little different.
Minute 15 to go here in period number 2. Stall call and a shot and a takedown for Feldman. And as that takedown was completed, for Simmerman, looks like maybe some of the starch coming out of his stocks a little bit.
Well, I think he knew this was going to be a marathon and not a sprint, but it's one thing knowing it and then being in it.
Yeah. 10-point match now, 13-3. Feldman trying to finish this off. And continues that forward pressure, and that's going to result in another stall call as they go out of bounds. Second stall call against Simmerman, so a point for Feldman. Now up 14-3. And a head tap and a level change and a takedown. 17-3, one more takedown will finish things off if Feldman can get it here before the period expires. Hooks the leg, there it is.
Yep. Too big, too strong, too mean, Ryan. He's got it all, and he's on a mission.
Indeed he was. 20-4, the final score of the match. And the Ohio State Buckeyes blank the Kent State Golden Flashes here at the Covelli Center by a final score of 44-0. We'll have our most valuable